Today we're here with Lamont Enos with Southern Cattle Company here in Marianna, Florida. How are you, Lamont?
Mike, good to see you. Good to see you again.
Tell us a little bit about the history of Southern Cattle.
Well, Southern Cattle Company was formed by Mr. John Downs in 1992, so we're in our 18th year here. And it was Mr. Downs' dream to be able to bring some of the very best cattle to this part of the country, the southeastern United States, for some of the other people in this country to take advantage of a superior genetic pool. Right now we probably have anywhere from 33 to 3,500 mama cows, 4 breeds that are represented here: Angus, Brangus, Charolais, Hereford. We do have a few Brahman cattle for a breeding up program and a percentage program, as well as in the last few years we've added a few beef masters to the program. So a very versatile operation with commercial cattle in mind. We have to make a living here. We have a real good strong nucleus of seed stock, but also have a very strong commercial herd here as well.
Absolutely. No, sounds like an excellent operation down here. And you know, as these heifers come up, Lamont, these are a set of Angus heifers that were just weaned 2 weeks ago?
Just actually 7 days ago. These heifers behind us were weaned 7 days ago. Just came off their mamas. Probably the average weight in here is between 650 and 675 pounds.
They're definitely a nice set of females. Now let's talk a little bit about Mix 30. Mix 30, we just put our plant up about 5 years ago up here at Campbellton, Florida, and started shipping product to Southern Cattle at that time. You've been here for 4 years now. And with that being said, how do you incorporate Mix 30 into this operation? Well,
Mix 30 has been a very versatile product for us. It's been a great product to work with. The protein values in Mix 30 complement our feed program, as well as the added fat for energy. In this part of the country, our biggest problem are those two things: getting enough energy in our native grasses. Most of our native grasses only end up with about a 9 to a 10, 11% protein value with an NEL of probably 50 to 52. So basically we end up being a little deficit. Mix 30 goes into all of our creep feed, goes into all of our dry TMR mixes that we use for our yearling heifers and for our bulls that are in our production program, as well as some of our lactating females, such as our 2-year-olds that need just a little bit more help through the winter. So we incorporate Mix 30 into all of those products. It helps bring up the protein, it helps us with the added fat, and it also helps us with the dust control at the same time in our creep feeds and in our dry mixes, which tend to get a little bit dusty at times.
What's the percentage that you add Mix 30 into that, either that's a creep feed blend or your blend going out there to the cows? Depending
on the dryness of the dry matter of each individual mix, we run anywhere from 90 to 120 pounds of Mix 30 per ton in some of these feeds that we've talked about. Creep feed, we're probably at about 120 to 130 pounds of feed of Mix 30.
What type of system do you have to mix this feed? Is it a vertical mixer or a twin auger? How does the Mix 30 work in that type of situation?
We don't have any blending problems whatsoever. We've got I think 2,000 gallon tanks that we store the Mix 30 in when it's delivered here on a tractor trailer. At that point, if we're mixing creep feed, we'll mix all of our grain and our mineral products, and then spray on our Mix 30, incorporate it in. The dry feeds are done the very same way. We mix all of our product first and then come over and cap it off with the Mix 30. We have a large Kuhn mixer, twin screw mixer, has a 12,000 pound capacity that we mix in, and it does a very thorough job of mixing. Probably takes us 5 to 7 minutes to complete a mix.
You notice any the minerals or the trace minerals and vitamins that you add in, say, a creep feed, do those fall out towards the bottom of the bottom of the creep feeder or so forth?
No, that's one reason we like the Mix 30. It does help bind everything together so we don't have any settling problems of our looser products, such as our soy hulls and our distillers and that sort of thing. It does bind everything together as well as the minerals, and makes a very unique compact package for us.
Keeps it consistent too, all the way through, from top end of that creep feeder all the way to the,
exactly.
To the bottom.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Lamont, tell us a little bit about your involvement and Southern Cattle's involvement with the North Florida Research and Extension Center.
Yes, Mike, that's a very unique program that we have going with the University of Florida and Dr. Cliff Lamb, which is a satellite research center from the University of Florida. So what we have there is the second largest grow-safe system in the United States. We can house anywhere from 300 to 325 animals per turn, and we can do about 3 turns per year down there. Mix 30 is a very valuable component in our research program down there as we incorporate that into our total mixed ration that we feed to them, which is a high forage diet. It has a lot of hay in it, so it tends to get a little bit dusty. A little bit of corn in it, some soy hulls, and some cottonseed hulls. So we use the Mix 30 to kind of bind that product together and take down the dust, and it's very compatible because it also helps us get to our protein level and to our energy level very efficiently. We actually measure the intake of each individual animal to the ounce that they consume, and then we're able to go in and figure out which animals actually ate less and produced more red meat after a 90-day test period. So it's a very, very valuable tool for us going forward. We've been doing this now for 4 years. And in the 4 years we've been there, we've amassed over 1,500 animals that have actually gone through. So we've actually been able to put together an indexing system for feed efficiency. And Mix 30 has been a very valuable component of that program.
That's very impressive, very impressive. Now, is that with bulls and females?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
We probably run 70 to 75% bulls, and the other 25 to 30% would be females.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk a little bit about forages in this part of the country. And you've ranched at several locations throughout the United States, whether, you know, if it was up in Michigan or here in Florida, and what's some of the other locations that you've been?
Well, Mike, I was born and raised on a dairy farm, so I cut my teeth milking cows. Mm-hmm. And so I understand nutrition and understand trying to garner the most nutrient value out of a product that you're putting in front of your animals to get the most production out of them. This southeast region is probably one of the most difficult areas in the country to ranch, from the Midwest to Northeast and sometimes even into the Southwest, because of the quality of our forages here. Once again, the quality of our forage, probably a limiting factor is in the protein value, which is 9 to 10% protein on our native grasses, with energy value of about 55. We're really looking to see 12 to 14% on our protein, and looking for about 60 to 70% on our energy values. So you see we fall short about 15 to 20%. Absolutely. And we're able to use Mix 30 in our feeds in order to make up those deficits because of the protein value and the added fat value that we have in Mix 30.
Yeah, by just adding that little bit extra in the ration, it will bump that protein and fat quite a bit.
It sure enough does. And you see a difference in the cattle. Their coats are slick, and they're nice and shiny, and they slick off quick, and we're very, very happy with it.
Well, and being a purebred operation, you want those cattle looking top-notch every day.
You know it, exactly. They have to be presentable at all times. You never know when you might get a valued customer in here that wants to look at your cattle, so it's important that they be in tip-top shape every day of their life.